Hello, Barnes. This is Barnes Pond Podcast.
Hello.
And I'm Helen Edward. And today I am talking to Simon Danciger. And Simon is the chairman of the OSO. And it's just a remarkable story. And I'm really looking forward to hearing exactly how that started. And so I'm going to start right back in, I think it's about 2001. And I remember the pond disappearing. A million gallons of water disappeared and nobody knew where it went. And there's a story of that. But behind the pond was the OSO already waiting to go. And let's start the story there, Simon.
Let's do that.
Can you tell me how that story began?
So you remember that building? Those of you who lived in Barnes quite a while remember this. It used to be the sorting office, postal sorting office.
Yeah.
In fact, Alan Johnson cut his teeth there as a postie. In 2000, the council, local council, who are the ultimate landlord of the whole building, they leased the building off to a developer. And as part of the deal, whereby the developer was going to put in residential area and commercial areas, a part of that building was set aside for community use. There was no idea what it would be at a particular time, but a section of it was going to be for community use. That was part of the deal. And then some of the great and the good in Barnes got together and they decided, wouldn't this make a fantastic little art centre? Raised some money, I think about £250,000 at the time, to fit out what was just a concrete shell. And it opens its doors, I think, 2001. And the original trustees, some of whom are sadly no longer with us, but Anne Carroll, Doug Livingston, fantastic, Rusty Livingston, Cooks Gordon. They did a fantastic job at getting the place on its feet, put on some superb performances. I mean, the best Macbeth I've ever seen was held at the OSO Art Centre when Rusty Livingston, who directed it, played the witches as three vamps. And people still talk about that production. So that was the genesis of the OSO Art Centre. But in those days, it was only ever in-house productions, and Rusty and Doug tended to kind of just put on their own things. And there weren't that many performances. They would do maybe 2-3 performances a year. And the rest of the time, the OSO wasn't really used. So although the shows were fantastic, I mean, Rusty was a great director, it didn't really generate that much in terms of footfall or income. And it was a bit of a struggle for them to kind of keep the place running. I got to know the place in about 2004 when, as an auctioneer, I was looking for a venue to hold antiques and collectibles auctions.
That's how it happened.
So I went to the OSO and I said, "Can I hire the place from time to time to run these auctions?" And they were a bit kind of hesitant at first because they didn't really hire it out for third-party use. It was very much exclusively for their theatre productions. But I started to use the place and I got to know the place more and more over the ensuing years and saw from the inside how they were operating. It got to a point where they'd been doing it for quite a number of years and it was time for them to kind of hand over the reins. And I thought, do you know what? I'd love to get involved in this. And both of my children are big arts fans.
So I think I saw that. Is that Johnny?
So Johnny, my youngest son, is big into theatre. Mark, my oldest, is into film. So it just kind of felt right that we would kind of get involved. And so I agreed that I would take on the role of the chair of trustees. And this was back in about by this stage it was about 2010, 2011. And I realised that in order to kind of make the place work for the longer term, we had to put more into the venue. We had to have more productions. We had to think about renting it out for third-party hire and to make sure that we had sufficient income coming in to run the place, because it's quite an expensive place to run. Yeah. So the very first thing I did was recruit a whole bunch of people from around Barnes to kind of help me. One of whom was Steve Mindle, a great guy, who was, I think at the time, was the chair of the Barnes Community Association.
He was the chair of BCA, yes, because I was a trustee there.
Patrick Vandenberg, who at that time was the chair of the Barnes Community Players. So I got a few people involved from around the patch, and we set about giving it a second lease of life. But the best was we found Lisa Ross. I realized very early on that in order to make the place work for the longer term, we needed someone who had operational management experience, not necessarily theatre experience, but someone who could run the building, someone who could make sure that everything worked. And we found Lisa, and Lisa's been absolutely brilliant.
Transformed it into this
She's
lovely
transformed the
space,
place.
hasn't
I
she?
mean,
And
she was a
yeah,
big find for us. And of course,
yeah.
she lives in Barnes. She knows Barnes inside out. Everyone knows Lisa.
And she's created all the lovely, red velvet.
Oh, she's great. She's an
Yeah.
absolute star, and she's been there for the duration. And so it was quite a small team at first, and it was very hands on. But we got the place up and running again, gave it a second lease of life, and we did quite a bit of third party hire in the early days to try and sort of bring some income in to allow us then to develop out of the theatre further. The theatre needed quite a bit of money spent on it to kind of bring it up to scratch again, and the technology's changed in the theatre world. So we needed new lighting and new sound systems, etc. So there was quite a big challenge.
So that's
for us.
like also a huge amount of investment.
Oh, it was, yeah. I mean,
where did that come?
We raised a bit of money from the community. We raised quite a bit of money from grants. I was constantly looking around to see, what grant authorities we could go to raise money, and it started to roll. And we started to get more and
So
more
who were the
successful.
partners of that investment then? Obviously there was the council.
The council helped,
community.
the BCA helped, the
Yes.
Barnes Fund.
The
Gosh, the Barnes Fund
So I
is
was
so
going to
good.
ask you
We're
about
so
that.
lucky to have the Barnes Fund.
Yeah.
The Barnes Fund helped us, and the local community helped us. And
even your piano was donated. I
yes,
think.
yeah. The piano came from the Boyd family,
Boyd
the late
family,
Sue
yeah.
Boyd, lovely lady,
Yeah.
and she gave us the
There's a
Steinway
Stein-
piano, which was
yeah.
originally played by Vaughan Williams, so it has a great history to it. So we were on a roll, and we started to build up the theatre side of things, and we were getting better and better productions. And then as we grew in confidence, we were able to grow the team. And now we have a full-time artistic director, Lydia Sachs, who's absolutely brilliant.
Just watching what she's doing.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
She's so good. And that's allowed us to make quite a significant change to the OSO, because up until fairly recently, we were predominantly what we call a receiving house. Most of the productions you saw at the OSO were touring companies who were coming in and using the venue to put on their performances. We were running the venue. They were putting on the productions, and there would be a commercial relationship to make that work. But now with Lydia in place, who's a fantastic artistic director, we have the confidence to put on our own in-house productions. And now we're doing 2 of those a year. Lydia's working on the next one as we speak.
This is the orange blue.
That's correct. Okay. That's correct. And to help us do that, we now have a program called Theatre Angels, where people in the local community have been very kindly becoming what we call Theatre Angels, donating towards putting on these in-house productions. And it can cost something like £20,000 to put on one of these productions. So, it's quite a lot of money to put them on, but the quality is fantastic.
I mean, but the donation that you're looking for, it's not the earth, is it?
No, for £260, you can become a theatre angel. You'll get invited to one of our preview shows.
There's so many generous people in Barnes. I feel sure that lots of people will
indeed,
come
and people have stepped up for our earlier in-house productions. That's been a big change for us. But the OSO is such a vibrant place. We're putting on something like over 200 nights of performance there each year now. That's a lot of theatre going on. Last year, over 16,000 people came to see a show at the venue. That's quite something. Over 2,000 alone came to see pantomime.
Yeah.
So it's a
I came to your pantomime this year. It was hilarious.
It's so fun. The grown-up after dark performances, the risque ones, are so popular. We actually had to put an extra show on this year. But it's not just the theatre, although that is the mainstay. This April, you can come along to the art fair, where you'll see fantastic works by local artists running over the Easter period. We have a philosophy club, a book club. We now have a crochet club.
You did your Burns night as well.
Burns night. We had the fantastic kind of.
I came and got lost in one of those reels.
Yeah. The crime writers event. We've had a fantastic Anne Mullins who put that on.
Yes. Now tell us all about that, because Anne's been to talk to us.
Anne is lovely. Anne is an absolute superstar.
Yes,
People like Anne Mullins, people like Andrew Summers, they are absolute stars.
And I don't know if you saw, but the lovely head at Lowther, Mark Tuffney, who's also been very much involved in
I know Mark.
staging so he did a podcast with me last week. You talked also a lot about the stage your screen your
Yes, screen story, yes,
yes, and of course that was Anne's
it's
baby,
mine,
wasn't it?
yeah. So we're very fortunate, very fortunate to have people like Anne, and can't wait for the Barnes
And that
Music Festival to start as
brings
well.
lots of really interesting names through our door, doesn't it?
Yes.
Which in itself raises the
Yeah, it
profile.
does.
And
Well, Giles Vanders, of course, is one of our two ambassadors.
yes,
He and Roger McGough have been great supporters of the OSO Arts Centre over the years. So we're in a really good place right now. And what's really
I feel
encouraging,
like Barnes is becoming such a cultural little gem now because, we've got what you're doing, we've got the literature festival, we've got the music festival, which Andrew's doing. There's just the Olympic, which is, home of our times. There's just so much coming to Barnes.
there is.
And you've been right at the heart of that.
Oh, but I've loved it.
Wonderful.
It's been a labour.
Yeah.
I have to correct you on something you said right at the beginning, though. I've been the chair of the trustees now for some 11, 12 years. This year, I actually, although I'm remaining as a trustee, I handed over the reins to two new chairs. So Sharon and Sue are now the new chairs.
Okay.
I felt like it was time to give someone else have a go at the helm, but I'm still very much involved.
But I feel like it has been very much your baby for a decade, hasn't it?
It's been a wonderful project
so
to be
that's
involved.
really what I wanted to, hear today. And so can you tell us a little bit more about you and where that drive came from, that huge commitment? And also I want to hear about COVID and what happened during COVID.
Well, I mean, my background actually was in the travel industry. I mean, back in the mid-'80s, I joined British Airways as a graduate trainee and worked my way up the kind of greasy pole in the airline and travel industry. But I got to about the age of 40 and decided I wanted to do something completely different and have my own business. And I set up a small auction house, which has been running ever since. But that gave me the flexibility to be able to get involved more in the community. And as I said earlier on, I've got a great passion for the arts. My family does. I got to know the OSO through my work as an auctioneer, and it just seemed only natural that I would get involved with the Arts Centre. I mean, it's been pretty full on for a number of years now, and without Lisa Ross by my side, it would have been impossible. But we met a good team, and we're in a really good place right now. COVID is really interesting. When COVID struck, obviously, the theatres, it's a nightmare, as it was for so many other industries, well, as it was for the entire population. But we were determined that we wouldn't just kind of close our doors. We wanted to keep as many of the team together as we possibly could. We didn't want to lose the momentum that we gained over the preceding years, but also we wanted to do something for the community. So we sat down and thought, well, what could we do at the OSO? And we decided that we would repurpose as a community kitchen, turning out meals for people who were in need. And we had no idea what was going to happen with this project, but we thought it was an opportunity to do something for the community and at the same time kind of keep the team on. It was a star chef. I mean, you have to go and try the food at the OSO because our chef is fantastic.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah. So we started doing this, and cut long story short, we ended up cooking up and distributing 10,000 meals.
Phenomenal.
And we got involved with Marks and Spencer, who would give us donated food that perhaps they couldn't use at the end of each day, and we would bring it back to the OSO and work out, well, what can we cook with this? And we had local wholesaler greengrocers getting involved, and so we got all this product together, and people helping us distribute it. And we also worked with the Carson Community Centre. And we became a kind of food drop-off point as well for donating food as well. So the whole thing was fantastic. It gave us a real sense of purpose during that period and something that we were able to do to the community. But the spin-off was the goodwill we created around the community. And actually, strange way, it actually increased awareness of the OSO Arts Centre. And it wasn't just that. We were able to kind of serve up coffees on the green because we managed to because we were keeping the kitchen going. So people could eat out for their 1 hour a day walk or whatever it was at the time, could come and get a cup of coffee.
And there's a lovely story there, isn't there, about Sophia? Because she worked with you behind the bar at the cafe. Of course, now she's our superstar.
She is a
piano lounge. And I don't miss a single one of those.
She's great. Isn't she the most wonderful person?
Oh my God. Beautiful, fantastic.
Yeah, so she was singing opera arias, standing on the steps outside the OSO to people who were socially distanced on the green. And that's fantastic. Actually, talking about the green, one of the big steps forward for us was working with the council and getting agreement to do outdoor events on Barnes Green.
Yes. And the ball?
The ball last year,
I was
our
there.
25th anniversary ball was a brilliant event, absolutely fantastic
It was
event. And
fantastic.
we'll do more of those in the years to come. Looking forward to other anniversaries. Yeah. But the annual event now we have on Barnes Green, where we'll put on some music or theatre. It's been a big game changer for us, because the venue's great, but it has a limited capacity. Whereas on the green, we can have large numbers of people. So from a point of view of both giving something to the community that large numbers can enjoy, but also from an income point of view, it's been a really big deal for us. So we'll have another Barnes Green Summer Festival again this year. Headliners to be announced.
I mean, the BCA also do some fantastic events, and you've been working together quite closely through Emma, our high street manager.
I love Emma.
Great.
And I mean, we team up when it comes to the summer festival, so we work very closely together on that. No, the BCA and the OSO have a very, very good relationship. Was
there a bit of financial loan repaid back?
Well, back in the early days, so you might recall this as a trusted BCA. In the early days, when we were trying to get back on our feet again, the BCA gave us a loan, which we've now paid off in full. So that's all worked out really, really well. We're so lucky in Barnes. We have some great community organisations. Yeah. We have some fantastic individuals who volunteer their time. It's a wonderful place to live, isn't it?
I love it.
It's a place to live. I love it. I mean, I've been here for just over 30 years now. What probably makes me a relative newcomer.
No, I'm about the same as you. Yeah. I mean, I also love Barnes. So are there any other little stories, like, Sophia singing on the steps that you can share with us?
Well, I remember back in the early days when we were putting the OSO back on its feet again, and we were wondering what to how we could get kind of people in through the door. So there was a local business that was running children's soft play, and they were selling all of their soft play equipment. So we thought, this could be an interesting idea. So just to get people through the doors during the day and buying a cup of coffee and spending a couple of pounds to come in, we set up a soft play area. And the next thing we knew, we had hundreds of children running around the venue, jumping over everything. And we became like a kind of soft play centre for Southwest London. and it was great because it got lots of people through the door. And then Lisa and I just looked at each other and went, hold on a second.
Is this what you want to be doing?
This is what we want to be doing. So we wound that down and then kind of sold on all the soft play. But I remember coming in, we were planning all these arts events, and then there were kind of children running around doing all this soft play. But it all worked out. It all worked out really well.
And what about other sort of favourite staging moments? When the Revlon Girl was quite a sort of starting point, wasn't it? For Lydia, I think.
It was. I mean, Lydia's been fantastic.
I saw that.
She is
wonderful.
She's puts great performances. What's been really encouraging is that, when I first got involved, because we only ever put on kind of in-house productions, the venue wasn't really known beyond Barnes at all. And because we wanted to bring in productions from outside to come and perform, we had to start making the arts industry aware of our existence. So I started going to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival as a kind of a scout ambassador. And I was going around talking to kind of producers, directors, going to see different shows, just trying to kind of make the industry aware of this little venue in Barnes. And when I first went up there, no one knew who we were. And it was quite a struggle to get any airtime with any of the directors and producers. Now, and I still go up there every year, and Lydia goes up there too. And now we go up there, and producers and directors are coming to talk to us. And they're saying, what space have you got available in the OSO Arts Centre? And we will bring down several productions from the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. You don't have to go to Edinburgh anymore. You can come and see the best of Edinburgh in Barnes. That's been a big change. And that really is really important to us, because we are now seen as a London fringe venue where shows want to come and play to us, which means that we're getting better and better quality programming. And it's now, it's pretty much now all professional programming. Yeah. The quality is great at the venue now.
I've been to quite a lot of your comedy nights, actually. They're always great. Yeah. Do you do them like how often do you do them?
So, well, like I say, there are over 200 performance nights at the OSO across the year. We would do more, but for the fact that we also want to allow for all these community events to take place as well. We still very much a community-oriented venue. But amongst those 200 shows, you're going to see theatre, you're going to see music, you'll see comedy. We've got the art fair. There's so much going on there, and you must grab our program and take a look through, because there's something for everyone.
There's something for everyone there. There really is.
Lots of children's shows as well.
Yeah. Wonderful. I mean, I think, I've probably, with arm around Barnes, thank you, Simon, for like everything that you've done to bring the OSO to Barnes and make it just such a centre of excellence and art. And you're off to go cycling now, running, I think. Where are you?
I'm going to go running now. My other big love is running. A big shout out to the Barnes Runners, who are a great running club. If you want to go for a run on a Tuesday evening, come and meet us at 7:00 outside Rose House, and we'll take you for a run.
I did join you once.
Come again.
You're too fast.
Come again. So yeah, running is my other big love. I'm off to Spain this week. I've got four races out in Spain. So looking forward to that, and then the London Marathon in April. So you'll regularly see me wearing my running kit around.
I don't know how you do it. You're like running this, running that,
running everything, running everything.
Yeah.
But the OSO has been a great team effort, team there. And like I say, I've already sort of had a big shout out for Lisa, but Lisa is a superstar. We've got lots of superstars in dance, haven't we?
We do. Honestly, we're so grateful. Thank you, Simon.
Absolute pleasure.
Thank you.